Jesus tells us that we can be sure that if the master of the house had known the hour when the thief was coming, he would not have allowed his house to be broken into. Well, we have experienced that. COVID has been the great thief. So much has been robbed of us over this past year. When you think of it, lives lost, businesses lost, jobs lost, all those student experiences, proms, graduations, the hardship of all of that, a way of life that will never be the same. The thief is in our house, and strangely, we did not see that coming. Obviously, there had been warnings, even movies made about pandemics, and we didn't see it. And I'll leave that off to the side as public health policy to go through, but there's something in our lives, and again, Jesus' gospel is pointing not just to a thief breaking into a house, but pointing to our spiritual lives that we often don't see what possibly could come and what is really promised for us to come that we should be working towards. The thief is in our house, and with it, many other little thieves too. You know, when we think about our lives now, that it can be tough to get going. This could be that sense of lethargy and not really wanting to get much done, that Zoom burnout, life burnout, the gyms are closed, it's hard to get going, get that workout routine going. There's so many things that can rob us of life and just make us feel so blasé, without energy. The early monks would call that the midday demon, where you just don't feel like doing much of anything. You don't feel like praying, you don't feel like exercising, you don't feel like being with people. It's just this blah. And that's really a thief too, right? And for us to think about how can we be using this time to know that God has given us this time. We need to remain vigilant at all times against any threats that could rob us of life, but also vigilant for the graces that are there. And so here, in this time, where life is different, our schedules are very different, our opportunities are different and new. How are we using that for God's greater glory? How will we use this time to deepen our life of prayer, our relationships with one another, and to focus on those priorities that really matter, and not allow ourselves to be distracted by everything else, but to focus on the one true God who gives us life. Jesus calls us to that focus, to that vigilance, to that hyper-awareness, to know that God is around us at all times, giving us that promise of eternal life. So today, yes, our house is a bit broken into and ramshackles in many ways, but we have the opportunity today to decide what we will do with this. This is our hour. This is our Kairos moment to choose Christ in our world.